developments tonight out of a southern Utah case of a YouTube vlogger charged with child abuse.
Yeah, her lawyer says that she plans to take a plea deal next week as she turns on a mental health counselor who was also charged in this case.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it seems like Ruby Franke has done something that nobody actually expected her to do, and that is to take a plea deal. Well, that's what she's expected for the court appearance tomorrow, and it's just insane. Now, her lawyers have put out a statement to clarify all the situation, and it reads absolutely brilliantly. So we're going to take a quick look through that right now and prepare ourselves for what is to come tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow the court appearance can be seen or heard here live. If you want to join me at 6 o'clock. Or just before 6 o'clock, we're going to go live, and yeah, let's take a quick look at this brilliant statement that Ruby's lawyers put out. Windward Law is making a statement on behalf of Ruby Franke regarding the pending charges in the Washington County 5th District Court, along with her thoughts about her current family situation. Our client is working with the prosecutor's office and anticipates resolving this matter quickly by entering a plea agreement with the court on Monday, December 18th. So a plea deal is being sought in order to get through it quickly, to resolve the matter quickly. Yeah, just the small matter of child abuse against her own children. It goes on to say, Ruby Franke is a devoted mother. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't laugh at any point of this, but the only way I can deal with such idiocy is by laughing and taking the piss out of it. I'm sorry, but it's stupid, right? Ruby Franke is a devoted mother, but she's never been a devoted mother. We've seen her 10 years plus on YouTube. She's been you know, taking a piss out of her own kids, if anything, right? And is also a woman committed to constant improvement. When? That's all I can say. When did this ever happen? Initially, Ms. Franke believed that Jody Hildebrandt had the insight to offer a path to continual improvement. Oh, that Jodie, fucking hell. She promises the world and gives you lemons all the time, doesn't she? Ms. Hildebrandt took advantage of this quest and twisted it into something heinous. Damn you. Over an extended period, Ms. Hildebrandt systematically isolated Ruby Franke from her extended family, older children, and her husband Kevin Franke. This prolonged isolation resulted in Ms. Franke being subjected to a distorted sense of morality shaped by Ms. Hildebrandt's influence. Now, okay, where to unpack this, right? Oh my god. So she's saying that Jody basically isolated her from her family, and this is why the abuse took place, allegedly. So one thing I would say is, yes, Jody is a very manipulative person. That is no doubt. I've always said from the very outset that Jody is the main player in this. Not just the child abuse situation, but the wider thing, right? You know, she is definitely in there and definitely the main player. But that being said, that doesn't absolve Ruby of her responsibilities as a mother. And in this situation where she has basically handed over her children, she bears every responsibility because her kids did not live with Jody. You know, it wasn't like a situation where Ruby was with an abusive partner and the partner was abusing the kids and things like that, right? That wasn't what this is. This was a situation where she had full control over what happened to her children, and she chose to put them in harm's way, and she chose not to remove them from harm's way, right? So whatever the situation, whether or not she was coerced into leaving her husband, coerced into being isolated from her kids, her older kids, and coerced into anything else, this is one thing that is the main thing, is that she was not coerced into, because she could have removed her kids from this situation. She could have fed her kids at any given point, right? But she chose not to. She chose to leave her kids there. And I don't care, about coercion and stuff like that. I don't think that applies in this case, in this situation whatsoever, right? Just putting that out there. But as for having a distorted sense of morality, she's always had this morality. That's the thing. They're saying that Jodie has distorted her sense of morality, so she no longer knew what was right morally. But on the other hand, before she met Jodie, she always had this sense of morality. Her morality has not changed. So I don't know where they're getting this from, but the lawyers seem convinced that she's a devoted mother. During Ruby Franke's incarceration in Washington County Jail over the past few months, she has actively engaged in an introspection that has allowed her to reset her moral compass and understand the full weight of her actions. Now, the thing there is that no, I don't believe that she has sat there thinking, yeah, I've done this so wrong, I shouldn't have done this, I've perhaps I was a bit harsh on my kids, right? I don't think she's been doing that. What she has been doing is sitting there thinking, how the hell can I get out of this situation? I don't enjoy living in a jail. How can I get out? And she's had a conversation with her lawyers who have said, right, you need to do this, this and this, and they might reduce the sentence and you might get out quicker. So that is basically what she's been that's more likely to be what's happening in her little head, It goes on to say, Ms. Franke is committed to taking responsibility for the part she played in the events leading up to her incarceration. I don't believe that one little bit, because if you look at the wider events leading up to the incarceration, it wasn't just the abuse by Jodie on her kids, it was also the abuse by Ruby on her kids for the past decade, right? She in no way, shape or form will take responsibility for that. She doesn't even think that that's wrong what she was doing. Demonstrating a sincere dedication to personal growth and rehabilitation, she has actively begun the process of reaching out to members of her family. Through heartfelt apologies, she seeks to mend relationships and contribute positively to the healing journey of her family. Now, it doesn't specify which members of her family that she's reached out to, but it worries me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Has she got back in touch with certain people? I mean, obviously it won't be the kids that she can apologize to, because I presume that she's not allowed to talk to them, but the older kids, possibly Shari, Chad, have they had her in their ear? Shari put up a post quite recently about how badly she was dealing with her anxieties and stuff like that. Is that related to this? Because I can imagine this would be a difficult situation if her mother got back in touch with her like this. You know, I personally think, right, that it would be bad to let Ruby back into their life. I mean, that's aside from the whole child abuse situation we have now, because Ruby is one of those people who is she's a manipulative person, and she'll get back into their heads, and nothing will change. It will go back to how it was before all this happened. And even if it went back to how it was before Jodie, that's not a good situation they were in throughout their entire lives. So they don't want that. They shouldn't want that to be the situation. But it's up to them, obviously, if they accept her apology. But Ruby's the sort of person that she'll apologise, get back into their lives, and then it'll carry on how it was before. And I wouldn't want that for myself or anyone that I know. So they go on to say, Ruby is aware that Kevin Franke has filed for divorce. While she is devastated by this news, she acknowledges and understands his anger and reasoning. Despite the pain, she respects his decisions and remains hopeful that, with time, she can contribute to rebuilding trust and fostering understanding within her family. Ruby has offered her full cooperation to help the children reunite with their father. I'm sure the kids are delighted that she's on board. Winwood Law recognises the profound love that Ms. Franke holds for her children. Really. And we are genuinely saddened that she has found herself on this challenging path under the influence of Ms. Hildebrandt. Now, I find that quite offensive, if I'm being honest, right? The law firm, obviously, they are putting out a statement, but on behalf of their client, but this part reads as if they believe her 100% and are basically shifting the entire blame onto Jodie. Now, to say that they are saddened that Ruby has found herself in this situation, she put herself in this situation. She put her kids in the situation. It wasn't anything to do with Jodie, the fact that her kids were put in that situation, right? It wasn't. And for them to claim that it was just because of the influence of Ms. Hildebrandt is just ridiculous and insulting beyond belief. It is our firm belief that Ms. Franke is a devoted mother who unfortunately was led astray. I take it you haven't seen all the copious amounts of evidence that everybody else has seen, or, you know, has your digging not gone as far as that? Or, you know, I mean, it's all over the internet if you want to go and look at it, you know. She is sincere in her commitment to securing the best possible future for her family, and we remain hopeful that, with the right support and understanding, she can navigate a path of healing and growth. Well, I don't really know what else to say, except for I find that this entire statement was full of mistruths, trying to shift the blame, trying to get her client a lower sentence probably, and basically not accepting any responsibility for her part in it, which I don't think is a very good way of trying to reduce your sentence. At least admit that you did wrong and then say, I'm looking to try and improve myself. But this just, I find it very insulting, everything that's said here. So what do you think about this? Do you agree with my perspective, or do you have another perspective? Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to follow this trial? It's not a trial, by the way. It's a preliminary hearing waiver. Preliminary preliminary waiver hearing, and that is to decide if there is going to be a hearing and if there's enough evidence to have a proper hearing. You'll have to look it up. My knowledge of the law is not brilliant, okay, but I am going to be here. I'm going to be streaming the audio from it. There's no video on this one, so if you want to join me, I'll go live around about 5:30 tomorrow, the 18th, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. Until next time, please give this video a massive thumbs up, comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.